excavators out there taking ice out of the river that was clogged. We've managed to get the river flow back in its traditional direction. And if the river is flowing, even when there's rain and melting snow and ice, as long as it's flowing its natural direction, we're not going to see the type of damage that we saw before.
More progress on cleaning up and getting people back into their homes after the Credit River flooded in Brampton last week. On Wednesday, city officials sounding optimistic after another warm and wet spell, followed by a freeze, helped crews dislodge chunks of trapped ice that had frozen together. The final 6 families barred from their homes now allowed to return.
We're really trying to transition from an emergency response to the recovery phase of this incident. So that is positive progress today that we're seeing.
Out of the river, into a pile, and then into a truck before it gets taken away. And now, while we're seeing some cautious optimism with the state of the river, attention is turning to another potential concern that could be on the horizon. In this case, with the bridge itself.
It looks like it is rusting away.
Kelly Gill lives in the affected area. She says neighbors were already becoming increasingly worried about driver safety on the decades-old bridge before the flood. She says those worries have been amplified now that large chunks of ice have been jammed under the structure since first getting stuck.
Before the flooding happened, my friend and I were actually skiing on the Credit River there underneath, and even just walking along, looking up underneath the bridge where it crosses between the 2 roads. And we happened to notice that there was quite a bit of rust underneath, and you can actually see the degradation of the metal supports if you get close enough to look at it.
It's a concern the city says is on the radar.
So we did have it inspected a couple days ago, Monday or Tuesday of this week. We had the bridge engineer come out and have a look at it.
Since that inspection, the bridge has been closed to vehicle traffic. Pedestrians, however, have been allowed to pass. Parks telling us a bridge engineer will be returning for another visual inspection and to make sure it hasn't lifted off the support piers.
The damage from the ice is sort of behind us for the most part. There is some ice upstream right now that you can see that could potentially, do some damage to the bridge. But the bridge is designed in a water course like this to be able to accommodate ice flows to a certain extent.
In Brampton, David Zura, City News.